Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General session. Thank you. Welcome back. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Did you conspire with Russia or an agent of the Russian government to influence the outcome of the 2016 presidential election?
No.
Do you want the special counsel who is investigating those matters to succeed?
I want him to complete his investigation professionally, yes.
If he asked you for your cooperation, would you give it?
Yes.
If he asked to meet with you to discuss what, if anything, you know about all that, would you agree to meet with him?
Absolutely.
I want to talk to you for a second about New Orleans. New Orleans is extraordinarily important to my state. My first job in government was with a governor, Governor Buddy Roemer, and at the time he took an economic development trip to Japan. He tells a story he was meeting with about 20 Japanese business people. And he started off by asking them, he said, how many of you have been to Louisiana? He said, five. 5 Japanese business people raised their hand. Then he said, how many of you have been to New Orleans? He said, 15 raised their hand. It's a big part of our culture and our economy. We've got a crime problem in New Orleans, as you know. We had a police officer, Officer McNeil, killed in the line of duty this weekend. The burn grants are very important to New Orleans to help us fight crime. Now, your office wrote a letter to my friend Mayor Landrieu asking him questions about his or the city's compliance with 8 U.S.C. Section 1373. Let me cut to the chase. There have been allegations that New Orleans is a sanctuary city. You have asked for information. Mayor Landrieu, who again is my friend, but you've got to call him like you see him, wrote you back a very unprofessional letter. And I'm sorry for that. He called you caustic. He suggested you were just a mere politician. He said you were scapegoating immigrants. He called you a fear-mongerer. And he basically called you a liar. And I don't consider that to be productive discourse. So I apologize on behalf of Louisiana. Would you agree with me that we're a nation of immigrants?
Well, virtually the vast majority have immigrated here at one time or another, for sure.
But we're also a nation of laws. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, if I don't agree with the law, do I have to follow it?
Yes.
I hate traffic cameras. I don't agree with them. Do I have to follow the laws about traffic cameras?
Yes.
Now, if I don't like the laws about traffic cameras, I need to go change them. Is that right?
That's correct.
Would you be willing, would you make yourself available if I could arrange a meeting with you and your colleagues and Mayor Landrieu? We're about to elect a new mayor in New Orleans, to sit down and work with the Department of Justice to resolve these allegations of being a sanctuary city in a way that the Justice Department is comfortable with, so we can keep that money?
Absolutely, I would. And I would just say, Senator Kennedy, that there were 10 cities during the last Attorney General's tenure that were noted as being cities likely to be in violation of federal 1373 cooperative law that requires cooperation on detainers and, or at least communications with federal law officers. New Orleans was one of those.
Yes, sir.
About half of those now have gotten off the list. Would love to see New Orleans get off the list, but we're not there yet.
Yes.
The mayor has talked openly about some of these strategies where he describes what we are asking them to do is to go out and arrest people in the city that are here illegally. We're not asking that. We're asking that when the city arrests somebody that's illegally in the country for some other crime, to communicate with us, give us notice before they're going to be released back into the community, because we may find, our ICE officers may find, that they're due to be deported. They're here illegally and they commit another crime, they ought to be deported. That's what the law says, and that's what we intend to do. And it's amazing to me that some of the mayors are so reluctant and so hostile to that simple request. And I don't think it's my duty to give out grants to cities who are failing in a most fundamental relationship between two federal-state jurisdictions.
Well, I don't mean to imply, General, that you're picking on New Orleans. I think the letter you sent to New Orleans, you sent a similar letter to New York City and I believe Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken, and Chicago. And I mean, I think it's clear that our mayor in New Orleans does not agree with America's immigration laws. And I understand that. This is America. You can believe what you want. But my understanding is that we have to follow those laws. And my understanding as well is that all the Justice Department is asking is that the city of New Orleans follow federal law or go change it. Is that your understanding?
That's correct.
Okay.
In fact, we should really strengthen 1373. It's a common sense request for partnership with our state and locals that we support in any number of ways. I'd love to see our relationships continue to get even better than they have been nationwide. It's the key to crime fighting.
I want the record to reflect, Mr. Chairman, I stayed within my time.
Thank you very much.
Thank